100 nights, no rest, no break. Dreams on my mind, but my hands still ache. Bands in the safe, cash on the low. Build it from the ground, watch the empire grow. Empty fridge, now the table stacked. Used to pray for change, now I'm counting racks. The grind don't stop, no pause, no wait.
Oh yeah. Hey everybody, how's it going? No video yesterday because I was deep in the rabbit hole of coding, brainstorming, updating, fixing, and genuinely figuring stuff out. But I'm back, and I've got a good one for you today. So the Delta brake system, let's talk about that. And I'm going to keep this one short because I could yap for half an hour, and I'm not going to. Not today. I will go into details for those who want to see more of it, probably at the weekend. But I'm going to show you a couple of things. Firstly, let's go over to Yonder Trading View. Today's chart, lots and lots of trades and two dashboards that look different because they are, and two sets of results that are very, very different from each other. So at the top here, you see in the name there, it's got R2, which is release number 2. This is the updated version. This is the one that's been out for this past week that has had some bugs and some problems, not been able to quite figure out what it was. I thought I figured it out, turns out I hadn't. The problem came back the following day, blah, blah, blah. I am quite sure I know what the answer is, and not all of it's good news, unfortunately. However, the bad news is more inconvenience than actually bad news. So I'll give you the elevator pitch today, and I'll show you the update because I've been working non-stop the last couple of days. And you may notice that the current version didn't have a great day, despite the pretty non-stop action. $562 loss. Not very good. Yesterday, I think it only made about $190 profit, and like $150 loss the day before or something like that. I can't quite remember. But there's a problem with the current version. And the problem was, I thought it was with my code. You know, you put out an update and things stop working. You assume you've just done something wrong, right? Well, there were a few little bits in there that could have been cleaner, could have been done better, could have been more efficient. Sure. And they now are through my work of the last couple of days. And there were a few things that actually should have been done differently. Okay, they've been changed and they are now done differently. Instead of sharing certain bits of code, important parts are now separated. That sort of stuff. I won't go into the details today because that's it's boring. But the short version is, what I thought was my code isn't quite my code. That's been the problem. It turns out it's TradingView's data quality on the low end of the time frames. So one of the updates I did was I increased the accuracy of the trailing stop loss, and it updates in real time on your chart, and it does that using the 1 second chart. Well, turns out TradingView's a bit crap when it comes to data quality, and if you don't get a good day's worth of data quality or data that's good quality, you get incomplete data, and my indicator has nothing to build off of, or incomplete data to build off of, I should say. So what's been happening is that trades were going missing from my chart. Sometimes they would appear in the live market version. Sometimes they would only appear in the historical replayer. And these are different types of data as far as TradingView. It classes it historical versus intraday and all that sort of stuff. There's loads of layers to all of this that I've been digging into and researching. But the short version is, TradingView on those super, super low timeframes it has kind of sloppy data quality. Ooh, another trade just fired off. So the trade data is a little bit sloppy, and my indicator wasn't able to rebuild the trades that kept going missing. The indicator wasn't able to build from them because the data was missing. So I think there's a problem here and a problem there. No, it's because there's no data to build from. The code wasn't really the problem, minus a few, small inefficiencies. So what does that mean? What does that mean moving forward? It means that this problem is probably going to happen from time to time. It means that the dashboard occasionally will be incorrect. Okay, well, this isn't really a problem because the indicator is not a dashboard. All of the important stuff, the trades, the entries, the automation, the trailing stop loss, all that sort of stuff, it is correct. It works. It has always worked. What is sometimes incorrect is these dashboards sometimes are going to miscount things. It's going to miss trades, and it's going to give you the wrong win rate and the wrong daily profit. And is this really a problem? No, because this dashboard is not the be-all end-all of this strategy and this indicator. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit annoying on the occasional day where it's going to just go a little bit wrong. It doesn't happen all the time. Like right now, it's correct. Like today, I've been waiting for it to happen and nothing's gone wrong yet. It's, you know, it's trading right now. It's in a trade right now. And that's what that beep was that you heard. That's a new trade firing off. So at some point, you're going to see this tick up a little bit, and it's going to go to, there we go, there we go, perfect. So just like that, we got $6,000 on the day. And that beep you heard was another part of the updates that I've done. I've been deep diving Crosstrade, which I'm really impressed with, by the way. Crosstrade as an automation platform. I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. But there are a couple of things that weren't quite right with my indicator that I've had to kind of separate out. And that beep was like a backup plan, because a little story for you. This morning, I loaded up my charts and I was sat in a trade that had been open for like 2 hours at that point, because for whatever reason, the ATM settings on NinjaTrader didn't activate properly, and the trade was just on in my chart, just floating around. So I was like, okay, that's weird, and I couldn't really figure it out. And so I've built in some redundancies. I've built in some safety nets, if you will. A signal will be fired to make sure certain trades are closed whenever they hit the trailing stop loss. This guarantees that there we go, there's a trade entered. And I've got it set up so I'm getting alerts for everything. So apologies for the beeps, but it means stuff's working when you hear a beep. And I had to get all this to work, I had to build a trade ID system. And I had to figure out a way where it wouldn't duplicate numbers. So I had to build it on time-based numbers. So it creates a trade ID based on the time of day it was confirmed, and it sends certain signals to make sure it's been closed properly, to make sure it's been entered properly. I figured out a better way of making sure the trades expire correctly on the right time. Loads of little bits like this, just really kind of getting into this and really maximizing and making it work properly, like a well-oiled machine. And I'm going to show you something real quick. So I'm going to quickly go over to my trading view right now. Sorry, not my trading view. So I've got this currently linked to my demo account. Here we go. That is right now. So this 6,000 for the day has been trading all day. And it's a couple dollars a bit off because, you know, a little bit of slippage here and there. It's done 12 trades within $150. Yeah, okay, I'll take that happily. It's working. It's working really well, actually. The only problems moving forward will be these slight inconsistencies with the dashboard. I actually built a version that took the day win rate and the day profit rows. I just took them out because if they're not going to be reliable, I can't have them in there. But then I realized, I kind of like having them in there. And you know what? Because this is going to be set up to a real account. That's my plan moving forward. It's permanently attached to this demo account from today onwards, basically, unless it's down for maintenance. Which is actually why I'm doing this video a little bit early right now, because I'm probably going to turn it off for the rest of the night. I've kind of got all my information I need. I just need to do some finishing off now, and this update will be finished off, finalized, and done with in the coming days, in the next day or so. To those of you who've got the Delta Break system, I apologize that it's been a little bit out of action this past week. I'm going to hit you up in the WAP messages. I'm going to DM you. I'll send something your way as a thank you for bearing with me this past week. But here's the good news. I think, in fact, I know some of the changes that have been made this past week I wouldn't have thought of making. So there's a better system here now. And this result is the result of an accident that I got when I was doing my debugging. And look, it's just gone up to 13 and it's now 6,500. So you've just watched it take 2 trades in real time. And look, I'll go to my demo. Here we go. 1 second. Oh no, that was it. Okay. So it was in, when I took that screenshot, it was in that trade that just closed. So it's actually gone down a little bit because of, the trailing stop loss. So here's what the account is right now. Let me move in. That's a good point. Why is it that little low? 1 second. Let me go check something. Okay, I figured it out. It's because I've got a different strategy running on this account as well. Let me take a different screenshot for you guys to show you this. So this is from my cross-trade account. Here we go. These are the counts I currently have running. So here's that demo account I just showed you. See, same number. This is the realized P&L for the day, and it includes everything that's come through from this. But I've also got another strategy that I'm also testing running into this account, so it's taken some losses. But that's a conversation for another day. That's fine. That one's doing tests. But yeah, you can see here. So this is the amount that the account has made today. This 674. So this 400. Wow, look at it go. The $400 difference here is approximately, commission costs and a little bit of slippage throughout the day. Let me get rid of that, and I can get rid of that. And if I go over to my my thingy, TraderVate, you see there's the 6,800 that we were just looking at. All right, so it's minus commissions and stuff like that. So yeah, my bad. I thought I had it separated, but no, it's all running to the same account still at the moment. But anyway, I'm getting off track. This strategy, what's making this so much more profitable and so much more active is actually the result of only one change. And it's nothing to do with the trades. The trades themselves, the criteria for their entries and all this sort of stuff, the ATM settings, nothing has changed. The only thing I turned off was how strict the actual pivot levels are that are used to confirm those trades. So this version, this what I call degen mode, is a little bit of a troll, but I kind of like the name, so I might keep it. I might rename it. It depends how serious we want to be about this, right? But that is the result of relaxing some of the strict criteria about where my pivot levels are formed, because the entire indicator builds everything off of the pivot levels. So by relaxing where those pivot levels are formed, I was able to create more trade opportunities in the day. The thing I noticed was that a lot of the trades that the regular, stricter settings would take, the relaxed version is also taking them, but it's taking them sooner. So it's getting into those trades sooner, and it's making a bit more profit, and it's getting to break even and trailing stop loss much sooner. And I also have it set up so there's no there's a bit of a limit. It can take up to 3. Like here, there's 3 trades that went in, and they all got pulled out there. So it's a bit more active, a bit more aggressive, I guess you could say. It absolutely can be turned down, and probably should be turned down, because it can still take just as many losses. But this is with all the changes I've made, with the 1 second data and with the more accurate trailing stop loss. It's just got more relaxed, more frequent pivot levels to form the trades from, and it's taking more trades as a result, and it's taking them sooner, which is kind of that key detail. So this was an accident. This was purely part of my testing when I was trying to figure out what was going on with the missing trades thing, which I later figured out. And I kind of saw this, caught it out of the corner of my eye a day or two ago, and I was like, man, those are some good results. It made $2,000 that day on those settings that I had, and I was like, that's impressive. And I was looking back on the previous day, and it made $1,800 the day before. I was like, well, that's impressive. And I just kept noticing it. Now, this leads me to another downside. The historical, going back into the replayer, that only works 3 days into the past now, because of the 1 second data limitations that TradingView has. So that was one of the things I couldn't quite figure out. Why does the rebuilding off of historical data just break so easily now? It's because everything's running off the 1 second. But I need it to run off the 1 second. You need the accuracy. So the dashboard doesn't matter, is the takeaway. The dashboard doesn't matter. If it breaks, who the hell cares? This is for trading real world accounts, prop firms, real money. So I care, and will be moving forward. I'm going to have this permanently hooked up to the demo account it's already hooked into. It's going to stay on it. It's going to be dedicated to this strategy. And the idea will be a slight tweak to the overall strategy for this. It will be the master account that this indicator and this strategy sends all of its trades to via cross trade. And it never goes to any other account. It only ever goes to that one demo. And then everything is copy traded to it from there as and when needed. That's the idea. So you have one master account that never changes. And that's going to be the moving forward. And I'm going to show you something real quick. If I go in here, see this toggle? That's it. All it does, it turns off one thing. And it just allows a few more things. If I turn DJ mode off, DJ, my God, my brain. The last couple of days have been long. But look, when I turn DGen mode off, it goes to the same as the current release version. See? And it's the same trades, same profit, same everything. The only thing that's changing is how many trade opportunities are being presented, and the entry criteria is still the same. So they're still perfectly valid trades. There's just more of them, and it's working out, basically. Let me show you a few other quick little things I'll go into more detail about later on. But here, so I've added a few extra little safety moves, I guess you could say. This is a cross-trade thing. It sends a backup, close everything just in case the ATM didn't fire. So this is like a safety net. Fast calculations, again, just makes it quick and easy. This one here, key sweep close strategy. This is, this indicator, it tracks key levels. So you got previous day, previous week high and low, previous day high and low, Asia and London high and low each, as well as 3 time frames, which are default to the 15-minute, 1 hour, and the 4 hour. Every high and low of all of those is considered a key level. From now on, I've added a safeguard where for 5 minutes, you can change it here as well. For at least 5 minutes, no trade will be placed if you hit one of those levels. And we've got one of those levels here. This line here is the London high. So here, there's no trade here, even though it was a breakout, because when price hit it, it triggered that safety net. These levels are prime reversal levels, which is bad for a continuation breakout strategy. So these levels, whenever they're hit, it will not place a trade at least for 5 minutes. Down here, you can see the reason this candle didn't print a sell trade was because we hit the HSO, and look, it reversed. So I would rather miss a continuation than get a loss because of a reversal. Absolutely, every single time. As you can see, there's plenty of opportunities. I don't need to worry about catching every single one of them. I want to catch the good ones, and it will not now take a breakout that hits a key level. I do have the 15-minute turned off. He says with it turned on. But yeah, I'm considering. Let me put it that way. I'm considering turning the 15-minute off. I haven't really done some tests with this yet. But this did this with the 15-minute on. So maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it's worth keeping on for now. I'm wondering if the 15-minute is a little bit too frequent. But anyway, that's one of the things I've added. We do have the flatten at max profit, which is good for consistency rules. Honestly, even with these really crazy results, I actually think it's worth putting something in here like 1500. Excuse me. 1500 or 2000. Let it get to that in a couple of trades. And just don't risk the account. Just let it, that's stunning amounts of money when you think about how many prop firm accounts you can run. And stuff like that. Yeah, you're leaving money on the table, but money missed is not money lost. Like, lock it in, secure it. Maybe 2,000 or something like that, right? But I'm really considering doing this, and I'm the kind of guy who's happy to just let it run. And look at that. Right, this is not a typical day, to be honest with you. But then I didn't expect it to capture 2 more trades when we were talking just now. Yeah, here. See, it got into both of these. And what else have I added? The news is all the same. Bank holiday now includes the British pound as well, because if London's closed. Yeah, that's it, actually, for the most part. Everything else is kind of details about the back end. I removed the candle coloring because that was a little bit annoying. It didn't really do anything, so just removed it, cleaned it up. And you can see here there's degen mode. It tells you when you're in that mode. It also tells you your current risk as well. But everything else in the dashboard is essentially the same. And the results have been kind of like overwhelmingly different. Positively so. And this is with the far more accurate trailing stop loss. So I'm going to I'm going to take the next couple of days to finish my tests. I'm probably going to finish them tonight. And we'll see what happens. I will probably, moving on into the rest of May, probably going to tweak this video series I've been doing, because I had a couple of days off where I was trying to do this bug hunting. I figured that out, and it's kind of changed a couple of details. But let's just call it there for today. I'll go into this in more detail when it's all finalized, but for those of you who have this, thank you so much for being so patient with me. I really, really appreciate it. I am going to put this update out in the next day or two, at the very most by the end of the weekend, so it's ready for next week. And not next week, but I think the week after, or the last week in May, I've got some time where I'm going to be at the chart pretty much the whole day, every day that week. So I think that's time where I build a Discord, and everyone who's part of, who's got my indicators or this strategy or anything like that, or just wants to join, I'll have a free section. I'll have a paying members section, so everyone can have like their own private groups and whatnot. And you can discuss the strategies, and you can tweak it and all this sort of stuff, right? I think that's when I'll make that, so everyone can come in, and if you find bugs and you have problems with it, or you just want advice, you can message me directly on there, which is a bit easier than using WAP. So that's coming in the coming weeks as well by the end of the month. And I have a prop firm that's ready to go. I'm so tempted just to turn it on, but I need to make sure that all of the updates and changes I've made to cross-trade signals. Let me put it this way. Earlier today, this afternoon, I made an update, and it was duplicating the signal, so it was entering double everything. I was like, okay, went in, found it, fixed it. The next bug, it sent 15 of them. It just spammed because it got stuck in a loop. So I'm like, oh God, turn it off. So luckily it didn't enter that one, and it ended up expiring. But yeah, these are the sort of things you have to do. You have to put the time, you have to make sure you get it right. And I'm not going to send this out to you guys when there's problems like that in it. That can blow up an account. So I need to make sure it's good. I'm testing it in the live market right now. Oh God, look, another trade. There we go. So yeah, let's leave it there for today. I'm really happy with the way stuff's gone. Honestly, I think as stressful and as challenging as the last couple of days have been for me, it's prompted me and pushed this system and my use of this system in a direction I don't think it could have gone any other way. And my God, what a set of results. It's up 10 grand in the last 3 days. Let me put it that way. On the settings that I'm pretty sure it's gonna have. I don't have any plans on changing anything at the moment. I'm just tidying it up and making sure that there's no little bugs like duplicated cells and triple buys, all that sort of junk, which I'm pretty sure I fixed this afternoon anyway. Like there, you only heard one beep, right? If I quickly dip on over to my webhooks, I'll show you. Here you go. Let me take a screenshot. This is where we'll end it. Here are all the trades. There we go. Here is the alert history. So this one here is the one you just heard. So placing an order, MNQ, success. Look all down here. See all these? See how they're all 6 minutes 02, 02, 53 seconds, 53, 52. It just spammed tons. So this was like, oh God, turn it off and go and fix it. But you can see I fixed it. Like here, place an order. This close strategy is that that trailing stop loss safety net I mentioned. Every time the strategy hits the trailing stop loss, the indicator also tracks it because it's on the 1 second chart. It's very accurate now. So the indicator also sends like a backup just to double check you did close it. Make sure you close it. So it's like, and if it's nothing there, and it's got the order ID in it, so it only does it to that one trade. So if there's any others, it will keep them open. I've had to get pretty specific about this, but man, it's going well. It's going really well. It's going really, really well. I am quite sure this is going to be the game changer I had every intention of it being, when I released this a week and a half ago. It's funny, I was thinking about this just before I started recording. 2 weeks ago, I wasn't even planning on being a YouTuber or anything like that, anything like this. I just had these systems I was building, and I thought, you know what, I think this would help some people. So I'll put it out there and just see what happens. Put myself out there, do the whole vulnerability thing, because if this stuff doesn't work, I'm going to look like a fool, right? Well, it's forcing me to kind of, step up and and do the work. But, woof, my God. So yeah, thank you for bearing with me. I really appreciate it. These last 2 weeks have been such a journey for me in a good way, because I'm so sure this is at the point now where I could, obviously I've got a little bit of fine tuning just to kind of finish off, just to make sure, but I'm quite sure this is at a point where I could just load it up, connect my prop firms to the master demo that it's going to be syncing to, and just walk away and let it do its thing. Set it to a max profit of, I don't know, 2K a day, and just walk away and let it do its thing and just make the money for me. I really, really think that's what this is capable of being. So with that, I'm going to love you and leave you, folks, because I don't know, I was tempted to put this number in the May results. I think it's a little dishonest, honestly. I'm going to update the May results with a couple of days of out of order maintenance or something like that, and we'll pick it up once it's back up and running. We'll do the daily update, and we'll do it from an actual trading account, live market trading account numbers. We won't do it from a dashboard that unfortunately now has the potential to be inaccurate with trading views data quality. But hey ho, is what it is. So with that, folks, thank you so much for listening. The fact that you're still listening and you're here is something I really appreciate, and I really appreciate the few of you guys who've messaged me about this and whatnot. This has been a journey, to say the least, and I think we can change some lives and change some futures with this. So thank you again. Love you and leave you. Take care, and I will see you probably tomorrow. Bye bye.
Yeah, I was home like a battle cry. Circus spark on the